I am in a bridal party where the bride is an anti-masker.
Oof. That's tough.
You and my girlfriend in the background just made the same exact noise. Last fall, I was asked to be a bridesmaid for a lifelong friend. Of course, I say yes, even though as adults, we have grown apart little based on differences in views and life choices. Fast forward, and this little thing called COVID happens. Her wedding is scheduled for Labor Day weekend, and we've all accepted, to our dismay, that she refuses to cancel despite over half the guests saying they are not coming. The biggest issue is that the wedding and wedding events are still happening, and the bride has made it clear that she will not allow us to wear masks at any point during her wedding. How?
I heard your girlfriend laughing in the background.
Jess is laughing.
That's the laugh of like, well, she's not my fucking friend anymore.
Yeah, thank God.
If that's in my life.
And let me just say, it doesn't, I understand this will get politicized because she's an anti-masker, but all brides from either side of the aisle are acting a little bit, they are all finding ways to rationalize whatever they're doing to fit whatever wedding planning they're doing. So like I saw a video the other day of a wedding party walking down Fifth Avenue hand in hand, and behind them there's a ambulance with the lights on. And like I just imagine that bride being like, it's only 5 minutes. There's someone dying, there's an ambulance. Like, so
take a left. This is my day.
Exactly.
There's a hospital over there.
Come on, Google Maps. Okay, so it made it clear that she will not allow us to wear masks at any point during her wedding. How do I firmly tell her I do not feel comfortable without a mask on during her wedding? Aside from the photos, aisle walk, and standing at the altar, I want to be wearing a mask. I shouldn't even have to have a reason for wanting to wear one, but the bride is a nightmare. And I don't know how to bring this up without receiving absolute hell from her. I already have a few bridesmaids on my side, including her 2 sisters. At this point, I am...
Full mutiny.
I mean, this is... I don't mean to bring up gender things, but there is... it feels very female to be like, I've created a small militia. like I've assembled a team. This is the Avengers, of wedding scenarios. At this point, I'm so angry at her for being so selfish and ignorant about what is going on in the world that I want to show up with one on out of spite, LOL. Yet, I am close with her entire family who are not like her at all and feel obligated to still be in this wedding. I am feeling more discomfort towards the event than excitement, which is not how it should be. How do you think I navigate this conversation, especially with someone so clearly hard-headed? Do I just lay down the law and say, I'm wearing one, get over it? Thanks for all you do. I will be listening as long as you are recording. Thank you so much for the email. This is a fantastic email. This is a fantastic problem. I love it. It has self-awareness because even to write, for her to write that I want to show up with one on out of spite, LOL, is an admission that this has gotten emotional. And
yes.
This isn't, to me, this is an easy, to you and I'm sure, like, we're all sitting here, my girlfriend's laughing throughout this whole email because we're all like, this is pretty simple. This shouldn't, what do you think about this situation?
So to me, I think not wanting to let the family down or being close with the family is actually like a benefit to you in this situation, right?
Okay.
To the listener rather than a drawback, because I think if you are really firm with the bride and say like, look, I have to do this or I can't be part of the wedding. This is not like a trivial issue. This isn't like, I have to wear the color dress that I want, even though all the bridesmaids dresses are this other color. This is like an issue of personal safety and comfort, and it's causing you a lot of anxiety. And so like, I think the idea that you being able to be firm, but still having this relationship with her family and go, hey, look, I'm really sorry if this is making anything uncomfortable, but like, you all are really important to me. This is just something I have to do for me. I bet they'll be more understanding than the bride herself is.
I think you're totally right. The relationship with the family is very helpful because it actually, again, 95% of these emails, the answer is communication, but it's about how do we communicate. And I think right now we live in a world where it's you against me, and all the tone is lost over the internet. We talked about, on this podcast already, you and I, we just talked about like the idea of like, you got to be careful with what jokes you make. And then someone comes back at you and says, oh, you can't make any jokes anymore. And it's like, that's not what it is. This is so. I think as a bride, she thinks the world is against her wedding. She feels, and let's take her side for a second. She feels the world is unjustly coming down hard on her and her wedding on her special day, which we can disagree with her on that, but that's how she feels.
And I do think there is something to like, this situation in the world is diminishing this day that she's been very excited for, planned a lot for, spent a lot of money on.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of like anguish associated with that, and I do empathize with her.
And I think she needs to feel that. I think because there's so many people that are coming at her with different levels of communication. Some people might be. She knows people are talking about her behind her back. She knows the small bridesmaids militia has been formed. She knows. And I think what you have to do as someone who wrote so well to this podcast and has such awareness, you got to call some sort of like, what do they call it when they you need to go have peace talks. You need to do your version of peace talks. You have to call her and ask her out to lunch or ask her out for coffee, go somewhere public, go somewhere, and you have to and you have to let her know what we just said. We get it. I get when someone when my shows were about to be canceled, I was mad. I was like, fuck these people. And when people who had no idea what I was going through was giving me opinions on whether shows should be canceled, I was like, well, they can go fuck them. There's I call it FTG mode. It exists. Fuck that guy mode. Where first thought is fuck that guy.
Yeah. Of course. And I understand. But the thing is, I think when you have these peace talks, right, this like détente or whatever, the thing to do isn't like, I can't believe you want this for your wedding. It's to go, hey, I want you to have the best wedding, but this thing you're asking of me makes me feel not just uncomfortable, but unsafe. And that's just how I don't feel like I can put myself, and it's not that I don't trust you, it's just that we can't all know all the circumstances, and it makes me feel better about celebrating with you, which I want to do, to get to be able to do this thing that makes me feel safe and secure, especially because she's already said she seems comfortable taking off the mask for pictures, to walk down the aisle. She's giving so much.
That's exactly the point that I wanted to add on to what you're saying is, this person emailing in already agrees more with the bride than the bride thinks she agrees with her. Mm-hmm. So she wrote in her email, aside from the photos, aisle walk, standing at the altar, I want to be wearing a mask. She just gave her so much in this negotiation that I think the bride would be surprised to hear that. So I think that sentence should be read to her, but in a way that isn't accusatory. So you say, listen, I want my wedding to have the great pictures, to have the normalcy to it. But I think what you're doing right now, I would go as the representative for the people who want to live in the world of reasonable. And you say to her, listen, we are lifelong friends, and that is the only reason we're having this conversation. I feel horrible that you're in the position that you're in. I understand how you feel. But I am a person who's having lunch with you today, and I'm feeling attacked. And this is, and you make it me terms. I'm feeling attacked. I am at the point where where your overarching rule for this whole wedding is actually making me rethink being a part of your day, and that kills me to even think about not being there with you and your family, who I have such a long history with. What I will say to you is, and I'm not saying this because people are talking about you. I've had people approach me. I am not alone in this thought. I am there for you to take pictures without the mask. I'm there with you to have your moment. But if you can't allow people to wear masks at the wedding, I can't be there for you.
Yeah.
And then what you said about the family, then if she holds still, if she holds firm, if she won't negotiate with you and give you certain, like, oh, you're right, and maybe even say to her, hey, I think we can work on an email together to send to everyone. We can, show everyone that you have like a little bit of a different, like, change of tune. It doesn't have to be that you say you're wrong, but you can say, listen, I've been on my mind. Help her through the PR campaign that she has to do. This is, and I know this is a lot of work for this person to do, but she said there's so many layers that she's writing in here, so she must want to do the work. Mm-hmm. If the worst case scenario happens and she's like, go fuck yourself, get out of this fucking restaurant, go, whatever, you go home and you make a call to the family and let them know, hey, I am so sorry, but I can't be there. And now you call the family and you apologize to them, and now this person, I'm sorry to say, it isn't your friend anymore, and that's okay because you tried.
You tried, and the stakes are so high. This is not, there are so many fights over weddings that are so trivial, right? Like, totally. Oh, they won't let me bring my new boyfriend or girlfriend, right? Even though we're super serious and about to move in together. Like that's like a trivial fight that like that isn't something that could put anyone at risk, right? It's like, this is like a real thing. If you're worried about your health and the health of everyone around you and the health of whoever you're coming home to after the wedding, this is not nothing. And like, I don't think I would be going to this wedding at all.
Well, I think I would stray away from hero speak where you go,
yes, for sure.
Don't do the thing. Everyone feels unsafe, and I want to make sure everyone's safe. I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm personally going to have to make a decision.
Yep.
I am made to feel badly when you say we have to at all times. I am now uncomfortable going. Like, the bride may even mean, well, yeah, I only meant during the pictures.
Sure.
Like, we don't even know that right now. I'm giving her every bet. She lands on this spectrum of like, wow, this has been miscommunicated, to she's a monster. I don't know where it is in between.
And if it's not workable, if she's like, at no point can you wear a mask, your concessions to me mean nothing, it is like not out of the question to, like you said, Jared, to politely decline, to reach out to the family and say, I love you all so much, you're so important to me, but I have to sit out this occasion because it just makes me feel a little anxious and unsafe. Nothing to do with you all. And
I sat with her to try and discuss, here are the things, and then you math it out, and then at that point, what could end up happening is they go and have the same talk with her. You don't know, but you try. Here's the thing: you come with empathy, you come with love, you give a negotiation pitch. They try to negotiate you back, or they walk away from the table. That's it. Don't forget to like the video you just watched. I have many more. Subscribe to the channel right now. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, you fool. There's even a bell you can click to. Now you've got your week set Monday through Friday. I'm here for you.